Good morning, class 6. Welcome you all in the second chapter of third semester. Students, in the previous chapter, we have already discussed about the rise of kingdoms and republic. So, in this chapter, we will discuss about one of the most important kingdom, that was Magda. And in previous chapter, already we have seen that Magda was very important and very powerful kingdom. So, let's understand. In the previous chapter, we have seen that Mauryan Empire was established by Chandragupta Maurya, okay, with the help of Chanakya. Okay, so how do we know this? Means which are the evidences proving that yes, this story is true or this history is true? So there are evidences like Megasthenes' book, that is called Indica, and one Vishakha Dutt's book Mudra Rakshas, and Arthashastra's book Kautilya. In all three books, we see about the Mauryan age, clear, about Mauryan rulers, about Mauryan society. So on this behalf, we can say yes, there were some rulers like Chandragupta Maurya, Ashoka, Bindusara, so that we are sure yes, there was one rule. Clear. So sources we have discussed. Now we will discuss about this chapter. So you know that Dhanananda was the last ruler of Nanda dynasty. In previous session we have seen that Mahapadam Nanda established Nanda rule, and Dhanananda was the last ruler of Nanda dynasty. He was not good, okay, he was not good, and he was overthrown by the Chanakya. Means Chanakya's, one of the Chanakya's people was there, that was Chandragupta Maurya. Chanakya was a Brahmin scholar who had a personal grudge against Dhanananda, that already I have taught you in the class. It was under his guidance Chandragupta overcame all obstacles in his life and built a strong kingdom, that was Magda, that was Mauryan Empire, and that Mauryan Empire unified all the small territories, and it became one of the most and the very powerful kingdom of India. But you know, when Chandragupta became ruler, that time one of the general of Alexander, he came back and attacked, who was Seleucus Nicator. But this time Mauryan Empire was very strong, and Seleucus Nicator was defeated in the battle. By whom? By Seleucus Nicator was defeated by Chandragupta Maurya. And Chandragupta Maurya, as he defeated that, so Seleucus, he made treaty and he made friendship relation with Chandragupta Maurya, and he married his daughter with Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, he married his daughter with Chandragupta Maurya, and one Megasthenes, he was ambassador of Seleucus, he sent, and now Megasthenes was living with Chandragupta Maurya in Mauryan Empire only, and that Megasthenes has written the book Indica, means whatever he saw during those days he had written in the book, that is Indica, and which is main source of Mauryan Empire. Okay, in the ending years of his life, Chandragupta abdicated the throne and became a Jain ascetic. In order to attain nirvana, he starved himself to death. Not understood? Okay, just listen. When he became old, that time he became Jain. Okay, he accepted Jainism, and in Jainism there is one system of sanlekhana, and in this system, without food, without water, people they give up their body. So this was practiced when Jainism was prevalent in the country in a large amount. So that time he did same. Okay, thereafter many more rulers came, like but before death he made very good things, that he unified all the empire, and Mauryan Empire stretched from Hindu Kush in the northwest to Bengal in the east, Himalaya in the north to Narmada in the south. In Sanskrit play Mudra Rakshas, which is composed by whom? Vishakha Dutt, we get that historical play, that how Chandragupta was, how he lived his life, what was his policies, etc. Bindusara, he became ruler after the death of his father Chandragupta Maurya, and about 25 years he ruled. Bindusara, he ruled about 25 years, and Bindusara was also very good ruler, and he consolidated the empire created by the father. His empire extended up to Mysore in the south, covered the whole of Indian subcontinent, leaving a few kingdoms in south and Kalinga, situated in present-day Odisha. But remember, he extended, no doubt, that Chandragupta Maurya extended empire, but one kingdom was there in Odisha, that was Kalinga that time. It was not in the control of Mauryan Empire. Now, this will create one story. Just understand what Ashoka, the son of Bindusara, he became the ruler, and he is the greatest king of India by the historians. Why he is great, and why what he did, just we will see in this. See, he became a ruler. After that, he conquered many parts of India. Okay, many parts, whatever was not in his control, and it covered the entire Indian subcontinent except some part of present-day Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Kerala. Almost all the parts he won. Kalinga, as I told, Kalinga was a kingdom which was not in the control of these rulers. So Kalinga, what happened in Kalinga? Kalinga was attacked by Ashoka. Ashoka wanted to conquer this part also, and thereafter in 261 BC there was army, means both army clashed in the battle of Kalinga, and in Kalinga there was bloody war. It is said that Ashoka, he had seen the loss of life and bloody land, and he realized that due to my greed only, due to my ambition only, this death of almost thousands of the people, lakhs of the people, they were killed in this battle, and he realized that this was due to my decision, and that's why he decided to give up war. And then now he said that I will not fight anymore. And before that he had one vision, one aim to win the world, and now he said, I will win the world, but not with fight, but with love, okay, with good things. Almost 1 lakh people, 1,50,000 people, they were prisoner, okay, and he released everyone. And this Kalinga battle, it was a turning point in the life of Ashoka, and this changed heart of Ashoka completely. Because he witnessed wounded, crippled and dead people around him during the war, and this he did not like. He felt deep remorse at the death of the people. That after that, what happened, just understand. You can see in the map, there is Kalinga. See my cursor, this is Kalinga, and this whole part was in the Mauryan rule. Clear? Okay. Destruction of great human suffering he had seen, and thereafter he was not feeling well. He vowed never to wage war again, and he became Buddhist. He accepted the Buddhism religion. In that Buddhism, already you have seen in the second semester that Buddhism focused more on non-violence, doing good things, compassion. So this he followed, non-violence, okay, peace, etc. He moved towards dharma, okay, that is moral values. Like he vowed to conquer the heart of the people, conquer the hearts of the people with love instead of the war. That already I told you. He adopted the policy of Dhamma Vijaya. Dhamma Vijaya means what? Conquest through dharma. Conquest not through battle, but by dharma. Clear? And he started one policy of Digvijaya, conquest of territories. Okay, and he started one religion, some part of religion you can say, that is Dhamma. And Dhamma was what? Dhamma was started by that Ashoka, and it is Sanskrit word which means dharma, okay, dharma. Ashoka's Dhamma policy was based on a principle of Buddhism. It was mainly inspired by the nobles teachings of Buddha. In this, what is code of conduct such as truth, charity, kindness, purity, goodness, means all good things he consisted in this Dhamma. He advised people to live in peace and harmony and follow ahimsa, means non-violence. Moreover, they should love one another and show tolerance toward all religion. Children should obey their elders, and elders should treat children with love and understanding. This was the main teaching of Dhamma. As Dhamma was started by Ashoka, number of the people, they started following this way. And this Dhamma is not one different religion. This was in Buddhism only. Okay, he did lot to spread Buddhism also. Okay, that we will see in our next period. Okay, so thank you very much, class. We will see in the next period what is next topic.